Speaking of standing up,
I'm
okay, Jonathan
triggered.
Majors,
Not I'm triggered.
girl. First of all, I had to put her in the corner looking like this, okay? And when I tell
Mhm.
you, I could not find her with a ponytail in the past decade. When I tell y'all this girl has not worn a fucking ponytail since she was like 21 years old. That was that movie she did with Tyrese was the last time that she wore ponytails and shit. Okay? That tells you how different her style was. Now all of a sudden, Jonathan Majors is on Good Morning America singing old Negro spirituals to us, and this bitch got a ponytail. And I just feel
Stop.
like it was intentional. It was intentional for her to give a certain, pulled back, cleaned up
Clean.
vibe.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know why when I saw it, it made me think of her in Eve's Bayou for some reason.
Yes.
Hmm. Oh,
Cecily, that was
oh.
the time she had a
She's
ponytail
supposed to
that
look.
night.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
like, and I'm like, dang, she don't seem like she aged at
wasn't
all. Like
she
she look
like
like
9?
that
How
little
old was she in
kid.
there?
Hmm? I don't
Cecily,
Wasn't she
know.
a kid?
yeah, she was a
She
kid.
was,
Yeah. She's like
but
Huh.
she
13.
was doing grown folks stuff, right?
She was going
Yeah.
down to the hair salon and getting her hair cut without her mama knowing, kissing on her daddy, confusing everybody, confusing the people. Girl, listen, let me tell y'all what, what they said about. I'm still laughing at Katt Williams saying his strong face. Y'all like black
Y-
features now? It's like Cat, we've been liking black features since Beyonce said that she like her husband with, the Jackson 5
The Jackson
nostrils.
5 knows.
Okay, that's what we've
Baby.
been at culturally since then. Where have you been? Okay,
Ooh.
one pimp,
That's
two
a good
pimp.
point. Because I was trying to think about when we landed there. I would really was, but I think that's exactly when it happened.
I think so. So he went on Good
Hmm.
Morning America, y'all. And I knew the interview wasn't going to be good because I knew he wasn't going to do shit but act. Like I could just tell. He's going, like, why would you even do an interview? If you had any sense, you would let this shit die down.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go work on some independent projects or some shit like that. And, come back to us once we didn't forgot about some of this shit. And, the details have been muddied by time and so much, other shit going on. But no, you want to come to us with a goddamn Good Morning America interview. He says that he should not have been in the car with Grace Jabari, but he doesn't take any responsibility for her injuries, which I feel like is stupid. Essentially, they charged you and you were convicted with just being reckless, not intentionally harming her, but harming her nonetheless. And to watch you pick this lady up and put her back in that car the way you did, at one point I was scared she was gonna get hit in the, I think that might have been when she got her damn ear cut, because the way he put her back in the car, her head was about to hit the top of the car. So I don't like when men do that. Like,
Mhm.
don't touch the woman, okay? Don't force her
Yeah.
into a car.
Don't
Don't,
do that.
don't do that. Like, just
Yeah.
move away from her. Just start jogging, nigga. Like,
Just
what you
run.
grabbing? Just run. That's all you needed to do. Okay. But no, you want to like force her back into the car. And I think that's when she really probably got a lot of those injuries, even though she says it happens before he even got out the car. But the way he
Mhm.
was pushing her back in, I can't really argue with her. And everybody wanted to
Mm-mm.
argue about whether she had injuries. She did. They showed the pictures. Her finger did look fucked up. However, it got that way. Okay.
Mhm.
Now we could
This is a
argue all of that.
situation.
Go ahead.
This is a situation where I hate I was gonna say I hate to say it, but I'm standing beside this white woman. Like people, I know the internet keep trying to make it about, oh well, look what they didn't do to the black man, da, da, da,
Mhm.
da. But this is a situation where I'm kind of just like, you know what? I believe both of them probably done things that they shouldn't have done. They both probably were abusive in some type of way. But
Mhm.
just based on what what's his name? Jonathan Majors has showed us, he shows a lot of mental manipulation to me. And I feel like
Mm.
men like that, those be the ones that like breed the physical toxicity in relationships where it may have not existed with the woman before, especially if she just want to cling on to something. So you as a man you have a responsibility, and I think that's what he got charged for. And you gonna sit in front of him, people talking about I was reckless with her heart,
Girl, don't make me scream.
But not with her body.
right?
When
Do
he
not
said,
make
but
me
not with her
scream.
body, girl.
Yeah, oh, okay, great. She changed my appointment. Anywho, I agree. I feel like they both were definitely toxic to each other and both had like some abusive type of behavior and stuff. But I'm not standing beside Grace ass 1000%. I can't do it. And even with Jonathan, I can't even stand beside you 1000% either. I feel like the injury to her hand, though, I do feel like she did that shit to herself because she kept pulling on that man. So when that man snatched himself away from your ass, I do feel like that injury was on her. Now, what happened in the car, because they didn't see the video or couldn't see whatever happened in the car, that's what I believe the reason why he was not found, guilty on that. But from what they saw outside the car, they saw that he was being reckless, whether he intended to do it or not. It was reckless behavior that likely led to, some of the injuries that she did have. But I can't stand behind it 100%, especially I didn't like how he said, I should have never picked her up. I should have never, got in the car, or not pick her up, pick her up to throw her. I think he was saying
been in the car, period.
Yes. And I'm just like, you should have been got out the relationship. The moment you're having a conversation with somebody saying, I don't believe that you will protect us, or whatever the case was,
it's time to go.
You should have left the relationship. And that's why it's hard for me to feel 100% bad for you, because whether she's a white woman or a black woman, you saw the toxic behavior. Now, I do feel like Grace was full of shit, in my honest opinion, because of when he came to the house, he was knocking on the door. This bitch was up there texting somebody else. You hear the man knocking on the door. He gets upstairs. You're stretched the hell out like you playing this role.
Yeah, that part
not expecting him to call. Right. So that's why I'm like, okay, y'all both was playing in the people's damn face. Ultimately, y'all both have toxic behavior. I do think it's effed up that you called the cops to get this girl some help, and then it resulted in your ass getting locked up. But I can't feel bad because you should have known. You should have been left ass a long time ago.
This ain't no social justice issue like you try to make
kill
it.
Me for real.
Yeah.
Because he think he Martin Luther King, and we're gonna get into that Coretta Scott King comment that he keeps going back to, which annoys me to no end. And that's how I knew his ass was crazy. That's why once I heard it, I was like, yeah, cut it out. The nigga's crazy.
cut the show.
I'm
done.
Listen, I'm not doing this with y'all.
I was like, when in the beginning, I was like, I ain't tripping off Megan being with this man. If that's what she gonna do, she gonna do what she wanna do. Women choose raggedy dudes all the time. But it's like, Megan, you didn't want to pop out this year, a year later after the incident, because I feel like it's so many different things that is wrong. Not only is he on, trial for whatever this case is, but also, was you the girl?
Yes, he was
man while he was with. It's like, Megan.
Or if there was some other girls. But even those, the overlap that was happening, you cool with that? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that this is what I want everybody to hear that he said that really struck me. This is an abusive personality. Not that he's always hitting women, but his personality is abusive. When he was telling her that she needed to sacrifice for him, and then he repeated that shit in this interview, talking about, I just needed her to sacrifice the way I'm sacrificing. Sir, y'all are not married, and you're cheating on her.
Yeah, thank you. Agreed.
You're cheating on her,
you know
sir.
What kind of I'm not gonna lie, I had watched the interview again after I had did my video. This is small, but it stuck out for me. He pretends to cry, and then the lady asked, has this been hard? And this was the response. Jonathan said, yes, I haven't seen my daughter in some time throughout all of this. And then he said, I said, did this nigga laugh? I said, that's not if you haven't seen your child, Jonathan, and I'm with you, but I'm not.
We didn't even know he had a child.
But that's not even what she asked him. That's not even what she asked him. She said, has it been hard? Yeah. I looked to see, because Bondy, remember I told you, I said, I didn't even know he had a kid, right? So I had to Google it. He confirmed he had a kid in 2022. I don't think nobody knows what the little girl looked like, but I think
even though he was
magazine or somebody confirmed that the little girl, the girl's not 2, the girl's older than that, but he confirmed that he had a daughter in 2020. She mixed too. So I mean, another non-black woman. So that's why I'm kind of like, why the fuck is this a social justice issue? He talking about if the roles were reversed, if it was a black man running down the street, I would have been shot and killed. And when he said that, our black asses didn't tell you to get yourself in that situation. So what you want us to do? You want us to look like beautiful? You want us to, be a prop?
Baby. It
But
was
he
so many
said,
things that stuck out. I
I
was like,
mean,
damn,
he kept pursing
Jonathan.
them lips.
Damn,
Trying to push
Jonathan.
the cry
Did y'all
out.
catch the back on the farm in Texas?
Oh
Y'all
no,
caught that?
I did not catch the back on
Mm-mm.
the farm.
Yes. He
Dang,
basically
it was
said
on the farm.
he said that he has not been in that many relationships in his life. And he tried to play himself up to be innocent.
Back on the phone.
Hadn't been in that many relationships in his life. Something about, being a boy on a farm in Texas and all this stuff. He just a
Being
small
abused
town
and stuff.
boy. He don't mean no harm.
I was born by the river is what it's giving.
I
It
do
was
believe
very
he hasn't had that
strategic.
many relationships though. Looking at
I
his
believe that.
previous pictures to like what he looked like versus now, I'm like, yeah, he ain't had that many relationships
Oh yeah,
at all.
he probably had a
Not
handful of
you
white
basing
girls.
that.
Please don't get it twisted. The white girls love them no matter how ugly they are, because
Mm.
they're a black man, and they wanna color outside the lines. They want to make daddy upset. They
Oh
want to see if it's
my.
all that everybody said it's about. And so they go and get with a black guy.
Girl,
But
he's
the
their
thing,
trial version. Let me stop.
I
Jonathan
Oh,
was the trial version.
I say all this to say, I wish the man the best, but in
yeah.
the same breath, I'm here to say I don't give a fuck either. That's the thing. That's just to summarize. I wish him the best, but I also don't give a fuck.
Mm.
And I'm still not letting go of people saying that he is a terror to work with. Like, I'm still not letting go of that shit. People did come out and say that
Mhm.
he wasn't the easiest person to work with at Yale. He wasn't the easiest person to work with on sets. People have still been saying that type of shit. So how sometimes you
Mhm.
fuck with the wrong person and your shit just end up being blown up for no apparent reason.
For
It's so
no
sad.
reason. I know he just sit around and just like I would have been on some R. Kelly. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I would have been
He
crying my
did.
ass off because those tears that he had
I'm fighting for my
was
life.
nowhere near compared to what R. Kelly had. Because listen, you were at the height of your career, and it literally just like faded away. Like I would have been crying my ass off in that interview, snot everything, and then Megan sitting in the back like. I said, y'all
He
fake.
said she's an angel. She's sitting there.
She's my Coretta. When he called her his Coretta, like Coretta.
Why would
Like,
you
first
say
of
that?
all, Coretta Scott King is not just the stick beside him woman. I don't know where you got that from. This is how you know it's the shit that black men tell each other, right? You got to get you one of them women like Coretta Scott King. She just sit there. I mean, fuck, even the Charleston White cockeyed eyed ass has said some shit like that. Using Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King as an example of some long-suffering, self-sacrificing wife that's just supposed to sit there and shut up and be quiet as her man goes and fucks all of the white girls he wants to. I'm really annoyed because I feel like it's a denigration of that woman's legacy and what all she brought to the table as a whole human being before getting with him, during and after. She was more than just like a placeholder to have babies so this man could look great to the world. She was more than that. And I don't like the fact that he continued to use her name in, to me, such a demeaning manner. As a woman, that's some demeaning shit for you to act like one of the great examples, in Black history is a woman that just stood beside him so he can go fuck white women and he can look good to the public. Like, don't do that shit, bro. Accomplished in music and in education, much more than Megan and much more than a white girl that you had chasing you down the fucking street. You are not Martin Luther King, sir. You make movies. I hate that y'all always act like y'all are making sacrifices because y'all are in the entertainment industry. You're not.
And that's the other thing, Bondy, right? Because Megan's career is long standing way before his. So why is she the one having to be reduced down to that particular role when her career goes further than yours and probably going to continue to go further even after this situation? Because yeah, y'all might be dating, but she could break up with you at any moment. I don't think it's going to stop a single bag of hers, but yours at this time is halted. But can I also add, and I'll let the people, drag me later. But girl, I ain't know none of this shit about Coretta. So honestly, I'm like, was he really off brand when he said what he said? Because I didn't know she was a musician. They don't tell us that. They want to praise Martin Luther King and then say, oh, she was a great wife, but they never bring up the accolades or what she really has accomplished. Like, it always stopped there for me that she was the wife of his children. I
It's the
never
toxic
knew those
masculinity.
details
And
about
that's why he thinks he didn't do nothing wrong. One of the things I thought about though is the position that Megan is playing ain't too far from the position she was playing in the marriage. Because the assumption was that whenever she got divorced, you know, she seems to be a little bit more free, you know, couldn't get the locks out her head. Like she was given a different Megan than First Lady Megan. And now I feel like she low-key putting herself back in the same position to, you know,
play a
hold
role.
this man. Yeah, to play a role. And I'm like, I don't know.
I think that it's only for his benefit. I don't know what she's getting out of it. Maybe she really is into him. But to me, it is so obvious that the only reason he reached for her, and she might not have even been the woman he was texting, because I really do feel like them popping out the way they did was so Black people would feel like he's still one of ours. Because y'all like to, you know, have ownership. Yeah. Oh, you think
I think that was sexy. Only because why didn't we get the question we wanted to know, which was who was you texting? In the interview, you got this girl sitting with you right here. Nobody's questioning the timeline of when y'all got together or why is she supporting you.
You remember that piece of evidence that they took out? Remember?
Yeah, they couldn't say the name of the woman. They named the lady Cleopatra. It's Megan.
It's probably,
I feel like, in my opinion, allegedly. So I'm like, why is nobody asking the questions?
It could have been going downhill. I mean, it's obvious since September 2022 when they had that first incident where the girl wanted to go to the hospital and he was telling her he was gonna kill himself if she did. That to me sound like you knew this shit was going downhill, so you might have been preparing. You know what I'm saying, to move on to the next relationship. But I absolutely feel like Megan's placement is to make him, to soften him to Black people, because once white people throw him away, if Black people put him in Black movies for a little while, eventually everybody will forget. He'll regain his, you know, his power in the industry to some extent, and then white people will pick him back up again. It just kind of takes time and effort. But y'all, his team is terrible. From the lawyer to whoever told him to do this interview, like it just all was not a good look to me.
Yeah, I don't even think the interviewer was satisfied.
Y'all saw it was chopped up. I mean, I'm like, girl, not y'all sat up here, interviewed him, and then y'all want to slowly spoon feed us the interview. Like, where's the whole damn thing at?
That's why I can't fuck with Good Morning America, because they always doing that. Like, I feel like they did that with the R. Kelly interview. Like, put that shit in so many parts and all of that, and we had to wait. And then they put out a certain part, and then you gotta wait a week. It'd be too much. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic.